Lena.
Oh, sweetie, I don't even know how to thank you for finding my husband and helping him out. I hope we haven't been too much trouble for you.
Just doing my job, madam.
Here, I want to give you a small token of my gratitude. It's a tie, Mexican origin. The pin is an antique, quite special.
An 8-eyed Territorn tie.
The little silvery knob holding the tie together feels warm in your hand. It's in the shape of an avian skull with 8 eyes. You could ask her about this when you get the time. It's probably a cryptid, but the phasmid, of course, is more important.
You never told me you've seen the phasmid.
Oh, you don't want to hear about some old woman's ramblings.
Ramblings? Nonsense. Your description of the phasmid is the most precise I've ever heard.
But, darling, I didn't even get the size of it right.
Measuring things is important. How did she get the size?
You were a child, my dear. Really. It's extraordinary what you were able to describe. Now go on. Tell our friend about it. He's proven his interest in the field.
Reflexively, the lieutenant read his familiar notebook.
Well, it was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand of reeds. Quite a tall one. Many times my height, I remember. When, all of a sudden...
Wait, where was this and how old were you?
I'm getting ahead of myself. I was 5.5 in Betancourt in the suburbs. My grandmother had a summer home there.
I see.
Betancourt got bombed in the war. It used to be quite near, circa 20 kilometers from here.
What happened?
The strangest moment of my life. I looked up and one of the reeds moved. Not like a plant, but like a living thing. It stood up and looked at me. Its body unfolded like some antique toy. I've never seen anything like it. I didn't know this can happen, so I reached my arm and touched the thing. It felt just like a stalk of reed, but it moved, swaying, towering above me. After a while, 20 seconds, a minute maybe, it left, went into the reeds.
Did you follow it?
I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water. I couldn't see it anymore. I was just standing there knee-deep in mud, looking around me.
Then what?
I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if reeds could walk, and told her they were looking at me. Of course, she just laughed at me, but I knew what I'd seen. For years, it was a story I told at parties when I wanted to impress boys. That sort of thing. Of course, most people just took it as a strange, amusing anecdote. So did I, honestly. But then I met Morel.
We were on a date. Can you imagine? She tells me a story, and it's the most detailed report of the Insulindian phasmid I've ever heard. The sounds. She told me it hissed.
It did, yes. Like reeds in a gust of wind.
The way it moved, the colour, how some of its limbs were white, like marble. It matched perfectly with what I know from other accounts. It was amazing. If it weren't for Lena, I might have given up hope years ago. It's no exaggeration to say that she restored my faith in my profession.
He looks at her with admiration, but forgetting a wide smile on his face. You were on a date?
Our first, yes.
The old woman looks at her husband tenderly.
The glance is tender, yes, but tempered by something else. A thought she can't express, even to him. Interesting.
Its limbs are white?
Not all of them. There is some white coloration reported, along with beige, where the camouflage ends.
How big was it?
It's hard to say how big things are when you're quite small yourself. To me, it seemed to be taller than I was then, but that's probably not the case.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering about earlier. If it was taller than a 5-year-old child, surely it wouldn't fit into those traps.
What if it is the case?
Maybe you imagine it, Lena?
How could she? Who imagines this? She didn't know about the phasmid. This is the main thing here. What makes it a confirmed sighting? She had no previous knowledge of the insect.
That doesn't make sense.
So she couldn't have made it up, or imagined it.
I mean, she could have. It would have just been a big coincidence. But yes, I do agree. It makes less sense for her to have made it up.
That's true, yes. I'm almost certain neither my mother nor my grandmother knew of it. It was only when I started telling my story as a teenager that boys would tell me, Lena,
She lowers her voice, imitating a boy.
you trying to tell us you saw the Insul Indian phasmid out there in those reeds? Get out of here. They just give me a cider and ruffle my hair and tell me to stop dreaming. But I saw it.
Kim, what do you think of this?
I thought it was a wonderful story, man.
He closes his notes and gives her a simple smile. Thank you for sharing this with me.
You're welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance to relive it whenever I get one. It was just such an impossibly sunshiny day. So warm.
So warm. I'd really like to hear about more cryptids.
You know, to hell with it. Let's have more cryptids.
Yes, Kim, get in.
Of course, officers. Is there a particular cryptid you two are interested in learning about?
Is this bird a cryptid?
No,
Oh.
it's the cryptid.
Wow, the cryptid?
Oh, yes.
The small silvery skull shines between your fingers, its beak sharp. Okay, what is this bird?
The eight-eyed teratorn, the largest flying avian ever discovered, with a wingspan of 11.5 meters. It was thought to have gone extinct 3,500 years ago. Some even doubted the fossils were real. A mutation, they said. Until...
Mutation? All of evolution is a mutation.
Until...
Until it was sighted by renowned Gotvaldian explorer and naturalist Uwe Plattenkalk in
Uwe.
21.
This renown seems a bit dubious. Your own catalogue comes up completely empty. But, of course, you are not all-knowing.
I need to hear about this sighting.
It happened on a botanical expedition into the vast and unexplored Oamrau Canyon in southeast Ilmara. Dr. Plattenkalk got separated from his group during a sandstorm.
Okay, and Wamrau is?
The world's largest canyon system, sweetie. It's a barren waste east of the Erg Desert, an ancient riverbed completely dried up.
What happened?
Alone in the blasted desert heat, the doctor wandered eastward, where man hasn't stepped foot in over 1,000 years, since the fall of Pericarnassus. He was lost, without any navigation equipment and desperately low on water. After a day or two, he noticed a bird high in the noon sky. A great black bird. It seemed gargantuan. Every now and then, the bird would dive down to feed on an animal carcass somewhere on the horizon. But by the time Uwe got there, the teratorn had taken off already, and the carcass was picked clean. This happened many times.
He was following it?
Yes, or rather, hunting. A bird that big has a lot of blood in it, and he was dying of thirst. For many days, Dr. Plattenkalk followed the teratorn until they reached a great canyon wall where the bird finally landed to rest. The professor climbed up there with a rock in his hand. He found the bird sleeping with his head tucked under its wing, a great black pile of feathers on the perch. So he approached, slowly squeezing the rock in his fist. Then the teratorn suddenly looked at him. He could see it had 8 eyes, 4 on either side of its skull, like a spider. And the man couldn't move. He was paralyzed, frozen into place with the rock in his hand. Whatever he did, he could not get closer to the bird.
Why?
The bird was controlling his mind. It kept him from approaching. He could step back, but every time he stepped forward, paralysis. Uva spent 3 days trying until the bird flew away.
Hold on, how did he survive to tell the story?
The 8-eyed Tetatorn was indifferent to him, as long as he didn't get closer than 2 steps. It even let him feed on some carcasses up there, and the 2 unfertilized eggs it left behind.
8-eyed mind-controlling bird? Come on.
Yes way, sweetie. Cryptozoologists have been tracing it ever since, but Wamrao is vast, mysterious, and holds many secrets.
Modern radar telemetry shows great promise. We will confirm this one by the end of the decade, latest.
This one I liked. Not only does it have 8 eyes, and is a living fossil, and the largest bird ever to live, it also does mind control.
Yes, because of course it does.
He's sincere. He likes the audacity of it.
So that was the last anyone saw of it?
Sadly, yes. But there are numerous reports of 8-eyed bird skulls from Il Mara. And then there's the striking resemblance to the Pericarnassian imperial eagle, an ancient heraldic symbol that is hard to pass off as coincidence. The imperial eagle, too, had 8 eyes.
You wouldn't see 8-eyed... You can't say there are 8-eyed bird skulls. Eyes are not something that you can see in a skull. You can see the eye holes, but that just means the skull would have 8 holes, which could mean it has 8 eyes, or there could be any other multitude of reasons why it has 8 holes.
Not really. It's just stylization. The way they drew eyes. It's not a zoological drawing.
Very, very hard.
This one's very famous. Everyone knows it. People will be looking at that tie on you and thinking, that man is into cryptids. So, what else do you want to know?
That's enough for now.
Of course, dear.
Gotta keep a few on the back burner whenever we want to hear more cryptid facts. But yes, that is it for now. I do want to talk to him again. I haven't talked to him in ages. Maybe it's something new to say.
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod, acknowledging your presence.
Do you know what's behind that door?
He looks up at you, then looks away quickly, shrugging and muttering something to himself. Shrugging is an international sign for, no, I don't know what's behind that door.
Alright, he doesn't know. Alright, guard, got a new bird for you.
Can I help you?
Guard, I found a new bird for the Welling.
What is this thing?
The man takes the stuffed bird. It's no biggie, I just thought it would look nice on the wall. I'm that kind of cop.
What, the interior decorating kind? You know, I'm sorry. This is actually a nice bird. A competent piece of taxidermy. I can fix it to the plaque and have a new bird in the establishment, I guess? So, I don't know. Thank you. I'm gonna go with thank you.
How about not having me pay money for the rest of my stay?
I feel good about our work here today. It's all about the little things, like bringing people random stuffed animals.
That's a no then, I guess.
It's not actually about that, but he liked it.
Goodbye. We gotta talk to Klaasje. And then we technically have to make our way all the way back to our actual house. In the harbor. Or in the fishing village, more like.
The door is closed.
Who is it?
A woman's voice answers, muffled by the door.
Tired. Controlled.
This is the police. Can we come in?
Come on up. The door is open. I'm drying my hair.
Alright, in we go. Piles of dirty clothes. A woman's. Hotel bill calculations. Looks like she's had an extended stay. Yes, about a month. Or multiple months. She's made around 4 months of payments for this room. About this door. Oh, the bathroom. You see the yard below. The corpse is no longer there.
This medicine cabinet is full of wares. Sheets of pills, haphazardly stacked, one on top of the other. There's also a toothbrush somewhere in there.
Look at the toothbrush.
It's been used quite a lot.
Look at the medications.
Pharmaceuticals line the shelves. Sheet upon sheet of pill bottle next to pill bottle. Acetylic acid, APAP, eye drops, blood thinners.
Quite the collection here,
Anything of note?
he asks in a lowered voice.
Pill bottles rattle like bones as you search the cabinet. Paracetamol, something in a foreign language you can't read. Behind them, an unusually shaped nasal spray. Its label reads, Nacra. Nacra? This is used to treat opioid overdoses. Always handy to have around.
Opioid. Interesting. That's used for diamorphine overdoses.
The lieutenant nods, then looks at the door. Search the pill sheets.
Among some foreign, probably Messinian or Gottwaldian, marked red blister packs you find. What do you find? This is going to take a little know-how.
There's something more interesting here.
A bright orange bottle with peptide stamped on it. In sunny, happy letters. Jackpot, baby. That's the stuff you're looking for. Your palms begin to sweat just holding that little plastic container.
Lieutenant, I also see a brand called Peptide.
Preptide, a euphemism for pharmaceutical amphetamine. Prescription speed.
The fuck are you waiting for? Let's get super fucking preppy.
What's so exciting about this orange bottle?
It's speed, man. Just what you were looking for. They call it dextroamphetamine and talk about psychological disorders. But what we're seeing here is some scientifically advanced trucker speed.
Close the cabinet. Alright. We're heading up. We have no need for those kinds of things. We value our life. What is this? The bed has been hastily made. There's a window.
This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo.
Run your finger across the surface of the glass.
Smooth as ice. There are spots of mud and rain on the outside, even smudges. But the surface of the window is clear from the inside. No chips, no hairline fractures. Following your lead, the lieutenant leans in closer to inspect the surface.
This window was recently replaced.
Looks like it, yes.
He adjusts his glasses. Interesting. Let's go outside. Maybe a consequence like resistance in the rape. Or maybe I just threw another shoe through here. The smell of cigarette smoke in the air. Astra menthol. Oh, there she is. Now we're finally up here. Cold coffee and an ashtray that looks like a hedgehog. What about this? Look, a handful of dried white wildflowers.
Just as you look at the flowers, a gust of wind raises them from the roof, picking them up in the air.
Move your hand, fast.
The wind brushes them off the roof. They're gone.
A shame. Hand-eye coordination failed. That's probably also something I might want to put a skill point into. That's definitely useful. Although my motorics are all garbage anyway. But it's fine. We'll keep our skill point for now.
Welcome to the roof.
The young woman has a cigarette in one hand and a cup of coffee in the other.
Below her silvery jumpsuit, an athletic young body, built, long and lean.
I'm sorry for the mess down there. The cleaning lady hasn't come by in days. I'm beginning to wonder if she ever will.
Nice view you've got here.
It's much nicer now.
Her eyes wander north toward the yard.
Where the dead body used to hang, clearly visible from the roof, but no longer.
Thank you for that, officers. Truly.
You mentioned a cleaning lady. I think I need one.
Oh yes. Legends of room number 1 have made their way around the building. They say a portal to hell has opened in there.
Hell, you know not of which you speak.
Oh, I do. They also say it's why the cleaning lady quit.
She just admitted to being on familiar terms with hell. A rough life, certainly.
I am Kim Kitsuragi. I am a detective from Precinct 57. I see you've already met my colleague.
Have I ever? Have you grown accustomed to your role as a police officer?
Oh yeah, feel the power.
Yes, once a cop, always a cop.
Like riding a copper-cycle.
She takes a sip of her coffee.
Miss, we are investigating the murder of the man down there. The people who put him there have asked us to talk to you.
Huh. I see.
She takes a pensive drag of her menthol cigarettes.
What could she be thinking of? It's hard to say. Her shoulders are relaxed, her eyes on the cigarette. It's like she's disappointed this wasn't about more entertaining matters.
What is your name, miss, for the record?
Klaasje Amandou.
Same name that Titus gave you. It sounds Oranese, as does her accent.
Are you from Oranje?
Right, sir. Vredefort, Republic of Oranje. I guess you could say I am an Oranese expatriate.
Yes, I thought so. What is Oranje?
A bad memory, officer.
Bad memory of what?
Of lilacs and lightning. Parks, glass, duraluminium. Vredefort is a conference city. It's always autumn there. A night. At least it was for me.
What's so bad about that?
Nothing. If you're no longer there.
How old are you?
I'm 28.
She takes a drag. What do you do, miss, or what is your specialization?
Something stupid.
What's that?
Oranese lit.
Oranese lit?
Oranese literature. It's what I studied at the university.
She raises both eyebrows. What is Oranese literature about?
Fear of failure, fear of death, how it sucks to be Oranese. All national literatures are... Only the name of the nation changes.
What about Revacholian literature? People sometimes reveal things about themselves when they discuss such matters.
Revacholian literature too?
No. Revacholian lit is about how magnificent and serious Revachol is. It's about how you have to save the world.
The world is unimportant. I want to hear about you.
Strange. Usually the Revacholian hero does not save women.
She breathes in the menthol-flavored fumes, savoring it.
It's a frivolous pursuit. He saves all of mankind instead.
She seems quite relaxed for a victim of assault. But, of course, what seems should not be your priority.
Oranese lit. What do you do with it?
Nothing. I do nothing with it.
How do you make money then? Money is very important. Look.
Cool. I've made more money by just being than I have with Oranese lit.
I know where this is going, but we're going through it. Being what?
Many things. A roller skating instructor, a secretary, Miss Oranje 37.
She smiles.
Of course she won a beauty pageant. She's very symmetrical.
Thank you, visual calculus. Could we take a look at your passport, please?
I'm afraid you can't, officer.
Why is that?
Because it's buried in a sealed plastic bag at an undisclosed location on the coast, along with cash and airline tickets.
Thank you for your candor. Why?
They say so in your tourist brochure. Keep travel documents away from your person when west of the river.
How do I know you've told us your real name?
If I were to lie to you, I would come up with a more mainstream name than Klaasje Amandou. It's a weird name.
She seems to be telling the truth, sire.
Okay then.
Okie dokie.
She pours herself more coffee.
If any of this made her nervous, it certainly doesn't show in her expression or her movements.
Thank you, that's it for the record.
The record. So official.
Nice room you've got here.
Yeah, it's pretty deluxe.
What are you doing here in the Whirling in Rags?
I'm wintering.
How long have you been staying here?
About 4 months. I came in November.
The bills downstairs concur.
Why here?
Here in the Whirling, here in Martinez, or here in Revachol?
Here in the Whirling.
Because it's the funkiest building in Martinez. And because all the other buildings are bombed to hell.
Fair. You've quite the collection of prescription drugs down there.
Thank you. I've put a lot of time and effort into it.
She says without any discernible irony.
Technically, possession of narcotics is legal in Revachol, but you should still reprimand her.
Narcomania is nothing to be proud of, miss.
What did you say?
You heard what I said. Narcomania is a serious issue and nothing to scoff at, miss. Ignore the irony of me saying this. Imagine it's coming from Kim over there. Kim, say that to her.
Oh my god. Now it's turning into narcomania. It's got to be serious if it's 2 words. I'm sorry.
She gathers herself. The collection includes Nacra, an opioid antagonist.
Comes in handy when you've done too many opioids.
Is that something that happens to you often, miss?
His tone isn't aggressive, just inquisitive.
Better safe than sorry.
He takes a drag and smiles. You seem to have, among other things, Preptide.
Oh, yes. One of my favorites. It cures many ailments.
Like what?
Like not being able to stay up for 36 hours, not being happy. It cures those ailments. It's just a mirrored speed molecule, basically.
Not being able to stay up for 36 hours is not an ailment. That's all as far as that goes, then.
Very funky.
She takes a drag, looking you straight in the eye. That window is new.
It is.
She moves slightly to your left to check her reflection in it.
The lieutenant makes a note in his notebook.
I have other questions for you.
Okay.
Very loud cigarette smoking you're doing there. I noticed your room is close to mine. I have a personal question.
Yes. You're just 1 room away. Very personal.
Good. Yes. This means she could have heard something. Like what you were doing before you blacked out.
Were you in Sunday night? I need to know what I did before I lost my memory.
You do not need to know that. What you need is to ask normal police questions, like...
He waits for you to finish the sentence. They tell us you were raped.
It's a bit early in the morning for raped, isn't it?
Actually, it's evening, miss.
Is it?
Squinting, she takes a look around. The sun sets in the sea. Long shadows pass over the plaza below.
It is evening. Time flies, man.
So, were you?
Yeah. I'm gonna go with not raped. I don't want to say that shit about him.
By him, she must mean the victim.
Tell them it's not my style. They'll have to, if they want to jazz up the charges, they'll have to get someone more, rapeable.
It's all very organic. Her mannerisms, her movements. If she's acting, she's quite gifted. By they, she means the Hardy Boys.
Are you saying that you were asked to tell us you were assaulted?
Not explicitly, but I understood what they meant. It wouldn't hurt to spice things up a bit. Some assault and battery. Sexual assault, maybe. It was clear the latter would be spicier.
I just asked you to spice things up for us.
Pretty much.
She cradles her coffee cup in both hands.
Warming them.
What did happen between you and the victim?
We partied.
Oh. You mean like a birthday party? What kind of party? The kind I do?
With all due respect, sir, I think we partied a little harder than that.
Harder than this? I didn't know it was physically possible.
Oh, it is. You're still alive.
Oh, fair.
What did you do when you partied?
We drank, sir. A lot. For weeks, basically. We had that effect on each other. We made each other drink harder. That's why I liked him.
I see.
What else?
Stimulants. Speed also has that effect, making you drink harder. And then drinking harder makes you do more speed. It's quite the combination. We also had sex.
Were feelings involved?
A little. The drugs were good enough, and we did enough of them.
How did you two meet?
The lieutenant's voice is quite calm.
Downstairs, at the bar. He was on some sort of assignment. A military man, as you probably know. Had a cool, scary scar.
When was this?
A month ago? Something like that.
Must have been hard for you, seeing him there.
Oh, yes. I've had a great view. from the roof, out of the bathroom window, in my dreams.
A bitter cringe. It hurts. You look to the lieutenant. He takes a small step closer.
You called us, the RCM.
Yes.
Jackpot.
The call reporting the hanging? That was you?
I made it. And I would appreciate it if you didn't tell everyone. In Martinez, they call it snitching.
Reporting crimes is confidential in Ravachol, miss.
If it's snitching, then why do it?
Because I couldn't handle it anymore. None of these people called. He just kept hanging there. Then they started stripping him.
The voice was disguised. Did you...
I didn't exactly disguise it. I just muffled the mic and nicked the landline a little.
Nicked it? Oh.
With nail clippers. And I diverted some radio fuzz into it. Into the cold wire.
You were right to suspect there might be foul play involved with the broken phone line.
And in the process, you broke the landline downstairs.
Did I? Fuck. I didn't mean to. I had no idea what I was doing.
Jigsaw falling into place. This is satisfying.
Very.
Good catch. I appreciate the symmetry.
Thank you, Logic.
Still, that's pretty clever tampering. Simple and clever. Crossing the lines like that.
Yeah, I thought the same. It seems like you had some idea. That was nifty.
Thanks.
She manages to smile.
She looks a bit like a little girl who's just been complimented on her bike repair skills.
Why go through all the trouble?
I don't know, sir. It was stupid. I was drunk, too. I was probably afraid the union was listening in. Locals say they have ears in the wires.
We're not entirely convinced about that answer, but okay, let it slide. Pushing won't help here.
Thank you for making the call, miss. It was the right thing to do.
I didn't want to, sir. But if I hadn't, he'd still be hanging there.
What can you tell me about him? Name, eyes, age?
I'm sorry, I can't do it. Not right now. Later, maybe. I keep seeing him. Like he is now. I can't talk about his... I don't know. Hair.
Another puff. More nervous.
I know it's difficult, miss. We can return to it later.
What did they hang him for, if not rape?
He had something to do with the strike. One has been roiling since I got here. Rotten timing. But you probably know all about it.
And his role in this strike was... what?
I think he was in a security detail. He was ex-military, worked for Wild Pines, and against the Union. We didn't discuss work much, if you know what I mean. But I understood it was dangerous.
And they lynched him for it?
She nods.
How do the Hardy Boys know you?
They're frequent guests downstairs. They have a booth for Union members. They're probably down there now.
And how did you meet?
Over drinks. It's been a long, boring winter.
Did you party?
A little, yeah.
Like you partied with the deceased?
No, not as hard.
I'm sorry to have to ask this, but have you had a physical relationship with any of the Hardy Boys?
I have.
Which one?
Which ones, sir?
Hmm.
I don't remember precisely. Titus, obviously. But as I said, it's been a long winter.
Thank you for telling us all of this, miss.
She breathes a silvery sigh of relief and weariness. The air on the roof feels humid.
Should we head back downstairs, officer? We may have things to discuss there.
Yeah, let's go.
You made the right call there. It feels good. Pure.
About what?
I'm talking about your zero tolerance policy toward
yes.
the mania of narco.
Yes.
You're in the right there. Powerful stance. Would you like to take it up a notch? Would you like to become an anti-narcomania zealot?
I am pure and steadfast, totally uncorrupted by narco.
Yes, you're pure. Unravaged by narco. Of course, it's pretty obvious you've done a lot of drugs in the past, and will probably do more in the future.
No.
But that doesn't matter.
Alright, I can't think of any objections. Unless those things count as drugs. I hope they don't.
Of course not. You've always been anti-narco militant material. You kept her off a dark course with that interjection.
I did no such
Are you
thing.
ready to save lives?
But I am ready to start saving lives, yes?
That's good to hear.
The lieutenant acknowledges your strange mumbling. He does not have any narcotics visible on him, as he says it. Good. Alright. Sure. Off we go. Opioid receptor antagonist. Yes. Lower our electrochemistry. He always tries to fuck us over. We don't need it. Kim.
Looks like we have more to discuss with those so-called Hardy Boys. Half their reasoning just went out the window.
You think this will make them cooperate?
Nothing will make them respect the RCM, but it will disrupt the game they prepared for us. We just stripped off one layer of whatever it is. Her decision to not corroborate their story was definitely not part of the plan.
Why did she tell us all of that?
What else could she have done? Lie? She saw there was no way to lie and get away with it.
You would have caught it.
Yeah, I would have caught it.
If not you, then me. It was a smart move from her.
She seems candid.
You think so? Being candid is the best way to lie. The appearance of candor with some facts thrown in draws attention away from whatever one chooses to omit.
That is true.
She may be trying to control the pace of the investigation. Anyway, we should move. I suspect our inquiries will bring us back here soon enough.
They probably will. Alright then. But I think with that, I'm probably going to end it here as soon as we go through this loading screen. Because it's getting quite late for me. And, well, there's so much still to do before I'd even get to the sleeping point. So I'm just going to end it here. And we'll be back with a serious talk with the Hardy Boys in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed watching. Until then. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.